Some names are not whispered, they are hissed. They echo through the stone corridors of history, heavy with the scent of fear, paranoia, blood. Tiberius is one such name. He was Rome's second emperor, the man who followed a god. Augustus had forged an empire from the ashes of civil war, a golden age of peace and prosperity. But the man who inherited this magnificent creation was a different beast, a creature of shadows, a ruler steeped in suspicion, not glorious conquest, but a slow, creeping darkness poisoning Rome. Absolute power corrupts, not with a bang, but with a whisper. Why does his reign still fascinate us? Because it's a terrifyingly human story, a man of talent and discipline broken by the throne. Tiberius. A brilliant general, a capable administrator, yet stained by treason trials, summary executions, whispers of unspeakable depravities. Tiberius was not born to rule. He was a Claudian, scion of one of Rome's oldest, proudest families. His early life was one of privilege, but also of dislocation and danger. His family had backed the losing side that brought Augustus to power. He was a political pawn from birth. He was forced to divorce the woman he loved, Vipsania, and marry Augustus's daughter Julia. His happiness was sacrificed on the altar of imperial politics. His first taste of power's cold calculus, a lesson he never forgot. The bitterness curdled inside him for life. His path to the throne was twisted and tragic, littered with bodies of more favored heirs. Marcellus, he died, then Gaius, then Lucius, one from illness, one from a battle wound. Each death drew the grim, dutiful Tiberius closer to a destiny he despised. The eternal second choice, the spare part. Augustus turned to him only when all other options were exhausted. While others schemed, Tiberius forged his name on the battlefield. A masterful general, years on brutal frontiers, Pannonia, Germania, mud, blood, iron discipline. He slept in tents, ate a soldier's ration. He earned respect through competence, not charisma. Trust no one. Expect the worst. Value order above all. Frank loyalty over honeyed words. The first years of Tiberius's reign were a model of good governance. The city breathed a sigh of relief. Not the tyrant they feared. Frugal, hardworking. He respected institutions, particularly the Senate. He rejected fawning titles, preferred first citizen. He sat in courts, listening to cases. He refilled coffers drained by monumental building. The golden age might continue under this stern steward. But he was a contradiction. Simple in image, absolute in mechanics. When legions mutinied on the Rhine and Danube, he sent Germanicus and his son Drusus. They quelled the rebellions. Germanicus won immense popularity. Germanicus, young, handsome, charming, adored by people and army. For Tiberius, pride mixed with suspicion. Loyal heir or future rival? Cheering sounded like a threat to the emperor. In 17 AD, he recalled Germanicus, awarded a triumph, and ended his command. He sent him east, while installing his antagonist, Piso, in Syria, to watch and undermine. A political chessboard was set, and darkness began to gather. The news from the east arrived like a thunderclap. In 19 AD, Germanicus, the beloved heir, was dead. He fell ill in Antioch and accused Piso of poisoning. Whether truth or delirium, Rome cried, murdered. All eyes turned to Tiberius. Did he orchestrate it? Rumors slithered from alleys to marble halls. Tiberius stood cold, aloof, refused a public funeral. He demanded a trial for Piso. It was a farce. Cornered, Piso threatened to reveal documents. Before he could, he was found dead. Too tidy a tale. The affair stained Tiberius, broke trust forever. Suspicion became a torrent, plots everywhere, daggers behind every smile. He weaponized maestas, treason laws. A misspoken word, a bad joke, a damaged statue, any could doom you. The age of the informer began. Men grew rich denouncing neighbors, rivals, even family. The Senate, once respected, became his hunting ground. He sent veiled letters. Senators did his killing, turning on each other. He built a prison of fear, with Rome's elite as its architects. The darkness wasn't creeping anymore. it was marching. Into this vacuum stepped Lucius Aelius Sejanus, prefect of the Praetorian Guard, the emperor's shield. More than a soldier, a master manipulator. He fed Tiberius's suspicions, named enemies, real and imagined. He concentrated the guard into one fortress, a private army. His statue stood beside the emperor's. As Tiberius withdrew, Sejanus became the regime's face. To reach the emperor, you went through Sejanus, or you fell. His primary targets, the family of Germanicus, Agrippina the elder and her sons. Agrippina and Nero Caesar arrested, exiled to desolate islands, left to starve. Drusus Caesar imprisoned, same grim fate. Sejanus eliminated rivals, terror became Rome's heir, executions became spectacle, bodies dragged on hooks, thrown into the Tiber, Rome in the wolf's grip, the aging emperor blind or unwilling to see. The friend he trusted was the greatest betrayal, a serpent in his heart. How long could this bloody partnership last? The answer would come from an island fortress, and a letter. Antonia, mother of Germanicus, moved in silence. In 26 AD, Tiberius did the unthinkable. He abandoned Rome. At 67, he retreated to Capri, cliffs in Villa Jovis. He would never set foot in his city again. He left Rome to one man, Sejanus. From his cliff, he governed by messenger, the aloof, paranoid ruler. For 5 years, Sejanus was de facto emperor, celebrated, betrothed, near co-emperor. But whispers reached Capri. Sejanus plotting to seize the throne. Antonia, unimpeachable, smuggled a letter exposing the conspiracy. For the isolated emperor, it confirmed his darkest fears. Not rage, cunning. He could not openly arrest the man commanding the guard. Instead, he outplayed him with deceit. A stream of conflicting letters. One praised, hinting at tribune powers. The next, mild rebuke. He kept Sejanus off balance, triumph to anxiety. The climax. October 18th, 31 AD. Macro made secret commander of the Praetorians. A rambling letter to be read aloud before the Senate. Sejanus arrived expecting his prize. The reading began with flattery. Then the tone began to change. The letter's final lines were a death sentence. Rambling words sharpened into a razor's edge. He denounced Sejanus as a traitor, and ordered his arrest. Chaos. Fawning senators demanded his blood. Macro's men sealed the chamber. Sejanus, stunned, was dragged to prison. Executed that day, statues toppled, the mob tore him apart. The purge was a bloodbath. Friends, family, even children hunted. The serpent ripped out, but Rome drenched in blood. Relief did not follow. Tiberius descended into his darkest phase. Treason trials intensified. Letters from Capri dripped cruelty. Ancient authors recorded lurid tales, orgies, torture, victims hurled from cliffs. They spoke of little fishes, perversions, a private torture chamber. How much is true? Impossible to say. Written by hostile pens. Even a fraction paints a man corroded by suspicion. A monster to some, a phantom whose presence was the executioner's axe. And still, the empire waited for his final breath. By 37 AD, Tiberius was 77. Withered, stooped, covered in sores, hidden with plasters, hated by the people, feared by the Senate, utterly alone. A reign that began with promise ended in blood and paranoia. He refused Rome, drifting between coastal villas. The heir, Gaius, Caligula, last living link to divine Augustus. He survived the purges, mastered deception, hid behind obedience. Tiberius warned he nurtured a viper, but the dynasty must continue. March 16, 37 AD, Misenum, believed dead. Then he revived, asked for food. Panic. Macro and Caligula acted, smothered beneath piled clothes. The emperor who lived by suspicion died by betrayal. Crowds erupted, demanding his body dragged with a hook. He was denied honor. Caligula arranged a quiet rite. The shadow seemed to lift, but the viper would soon unleash madness. What did Tiberius leave behind? A dark, complex tapestry, competence and cruelty. He left the treasury strong and borders stable. Far from Rome's fear, provinces knew peace. The paradox, efficient steward, blood-soaked tyrant. But his true legacy was psychological. He weaponized law, turned justice into vengeance. He hollowed out the Senate. He perfected tyranny's mechanics. Caligula, Nero. The blueprint would be amplified. He showed how Augustus's settlement could curdle into one-man rule by fear. A blueprint for oppression, a timeless political horror, the cost of absolute power. He lacked charm and trust, ruled by cold, calculated fear. An empire can be bound by loyalty or by terror. Ultimately, his name echoes as a warning. Gloomy, suspicious, cruel. Capri tales may exaggerate, but reveal a deeper truth. He inherited a golden age and left a scar, a blueprint for terror. His dark reign exposed rotten foundations, proving one man's paranoia can turn paradise into a prison.